Black America has been transported back to the Middle Ages, returned to be seized as slaves and sold again. A shabby auction block. Two modern red shorts stand out. Mr. Auctioneer made a wild bid. The farmer went on stage to pick one by one, but upon closer inspection, no one looks at a passing black man. They are weak in strength. Delicate skin is not at all suitable for work. All the blacks were sold out. They were the only ones standing tall on the stage. Mr. Auction had to slash prices to cut costs. Shout out $1 each, but the white people in the audience didn't want it. It's not about money for them. It's not gonna work with two black people. The Negroes began to panic, and if they don't get any more, was sent to a local hospital to be tested on live animals. They squared their backs and flexed their muscles to be strong. Finally, a white man made his move, not because they're strong, but because they're cheap. But since ancient times cheap no good goods, the two passing blacks were no exception. One of them is named Joe too. He's a real punk. All day long and stealing for a living. I just did 3 months in prison. One is a national congressman named Jess. The two are brothers. That day they went home together to visit their critically ill father. My father was very pleased to see them. He grabbed Xiao and said the family had a treasure. Now he's passing it on to both of them. But he left without telling us what it was. The uncle brought out the treasure his father had talked of. It was an emancipation book. Kaiora was very angry. What kind of treasure did you think it was? This is worth sheet. They picked up the liberation book and tore it up. The fairies nearby couldn't see that it wasn't worth much. But it means a lot to the family. Two men in the field spit smoke. Both men fell into a coma. When I woke up again it was 1780. A passing catcher saw a black man. Don't listen to any of their explanations. Take them down in a hurry, strip the clothes and sell them cheaply to farmers. Come to the farm. Keith went to work in the kitchen because he wanted less. Kaiora was miserable to cut sugar cane. How can he do any work all his life? Not to mention farm work. 2 canes and he pretended to be tired. And the overseer saw it. Take out the whip and beat it. He was frightened and stood up at once. But he still didn't work. He accused the supervisor of being a racist. He was beaten because he was black. It's a moral kidnapping he used as a punk. But this is the self-evident status of black people in the Middle Ages. He made the supervisor laugh on the spot. The black man carries his cell phone, and travels into a slave society. Saw 2 slaves eating sugar cane. He thought he was making an indecent gesture. I immediately took out my phone and filmed him, only to be interrupted by the supervisor. He quickly tucked the phone into his crotch. Luckily the overseer didn't notice, or he's gonna lose his phone. In the evening he sat in the couch with Jace. Yes has figured it out. They have literally crossed over into a slave society. Joel said he was running away from the farm. It was too bitter for him. When Yes saw him go, he decided to run away. Keep up with him at once. In the dead of night 2 people scared to death. Not like a tribesman at all. He ran back after a few steps. The next weekend the minister came to pray to them. Let them work hard. But Yes didn't think the priest was right. He asked the priest.
Dieu a dit qu'il avait créé l'homme à son image. Alors pourquoi ne pas vivre tous ensemble sur un pied d'égalité?
The priest quibbled that it was written in the scriptures. Blacks were subject to white management, but Yes read it on the spot. That this isn't about black obeying white. It means Jesus was eating at a friend's house. The priest was greatly embarrassed on the spot. He later reported to the farmer that Chance could read. It's very dangerous. Tell the farmer to sell Chance. The farmer was fine with that. No need to sell it to Chance. A lesson would be nice. He had his overseer hang Chance and beat him up. Let the other Negroes watch. Teach Chance a lesson and other blacks a lesson. There's a black man in here. He sat in a chair at a distance. She was Chance's aunt. He's the one who put Chance and Joel through. The next day the overseer called for work. Turns out Chance and Joel are missing. He immediately called the slave catcher. Tell them to bring Chance and Joel in. And at this time, Yes and Joel are on a Jewish delivery team. Escaped to a Jewish home in the car. The Jews called them in, prepared them. Have a meal? They want to talk about the Holocaust in the future. Tell the Jews. But I haven't said it yet. 2 catchers with dogs found their way here. They had no choice but to escape quickly through the back door. They made their way through the jungle to a beach. There is a boat nearby. They immediately got into boats and taunted the catcher at sea.
Allons faire voir, bande de petits Smicard! Dernier de la classe!
It didn't get very far. The 2 were caught by a slave ship at sea. It's up for auction again. 2 catchers are here too. So he took them back to the farm. The Negro threw his arms around the bride and kissed her. The bride vomited with nausea, but he didn't stop. Continue to lap the mother of the bride. Isn't this some kind of etiquette? Is to humiliate white people? He and Jess are being taken to the farm. No intention of being saved by some black man. The Negroes brought them into the Negro tribes. Unexpectedly, they were too stupid. They spoke at the Negroes as they took the oath. This caused the blacks to turn their fire around. They were lucky to run so fast that they barely survived. The next day they saw their aunt in the jungle. The impulsive heart can no longer be controlled. Luckily, Joel stopped him just in time. Shen Sen told them, and it's all because they tore up father's slave freedom papers. The punishment the family gave them. Now if I want to go back, then go back to the farm and help your ancestors find a match. Then light the pipe and leave. They didn't want to hear it. How do you make it back out of here? Right in the middle of the argument, my aunt was gone, leaving only a pipe. They had no choice but to go back. The two men picked up the pipe and went back to the farm. Farmer's daughter is getting married tonight. Said he was sending Hello meat and wine. Yes, took the opportunity to get the ancestor drunk, and carried them both to the couch. The job is done. Now all you have to do is light your pipe and go back. But Joel blew the fire. He felt he couldn't go back. To humiliate the white people who bully them, they hit it off, and they stormed the farm with knives. The main room was sweet and friendly to the white people who thought they were good. Yez also took fake moles off white people's faces, put it in a white man's mouth, let the white man swallow it. After a humiliation, the two happily prepared to light their pipes and leave. Unexpectedly, how to suck, how to vomit, two people cannot go back. The farmer had the overseer lock them up, wait until dawn and fall on the shintai ready to hang. But no one thought that the farmer's son had fallen into the water. Everyone immediately ran to save the child. Ancestors took the opportunity to save his mother, tell his mother to get off the farm. On the run, they met the farmer's son floating on the water. The two immediately jumped into the water to rescue the child. The farmer decided not to pursue the case, gave them both a certificate of freedom and let them walk away. But Yez said no. He traded the chance to leave for an ancestor. When they said goodbye, the overseer came again to urge them to work, and lit their pipes for their own use. But after a mouthful of smoke, the two men suddenly disappeared in front of the supervisor. They came back down to earth. Joel stopped fooling around and started working on a construction site. Although the pay is not good and the pay is not good, but life was finally where it belonged.